Welcome to Workplace Learning, Informal Learning in the Workplace. During this presentation, we will be covering the following topics. What is workplace learning and informal learning? Types of learning environments. Technology. Mentoring. Professional development, communication, and career benefits. This presentation outlines the various ways that informal learning can occur in the workplace to add to the body of existing literature that discusses the potential for continuous learning through informal learning opportunities that are embedded within various everyday workplace activities. There is no singular definition or one unified approach to what workplace learning is, what it should be, or who it is or should be for. Simply put, workplace learning is a site of intersecting interests, contested ideas, multiple forms of writing, and rapidly evolving practices. Informal learning refers to the experiences of everyday living from which we learn something, and it is by far the most prevalent form of adult learning. Coombs defined it as the spontaneous, unstructured learning that goes on daily in the home and neighborhood, behind the school and on the playing field, in the workplace, marketplace, library, and museum, and through the various mass media. But since it is so embedded within our everyday activities, informal learning is difficult for adults to recognize. Types of learning environments in the workplace. With globalization, changing demographics, and constant advancements in technology shaping the face of today's open market, organizations are furiously searching for ways to stay relevant and maintain a competitive advantage. In order to sustain a competitive advantage, potential employees and people already employed at the organizations are expected to continually modify and update their work practices. Scholars have consistently found informal learning in the workplace to be extremely prevalent. In order to keep their competitive advantage, organizations must help their employees with advancing their informal learning by fostering specific types of learning environments. To do this, they must first consider these 6 assumptions created by Knowles. Consider, for instance, a person entering a new job. This person would draw on past experiences and apply these past experiences to their new job. Then, perhaps they realize their knowledge is lacking in some areas and, motivated to seek out the methods to best perform their job, make inquiries to a coworker or mentor. Hence, the new employee is using these 6 assumptions for informal learning. Informal learning environments in the workplace can be enhanced or enabled through a multitude of ways. 2 methods are establishing a learning culture or promoting relationships for learning by developing ways for coworkers to socialize. In a qualitative study by Ashton, they suggested changes to organizational structure. Ashton believed expanding access to information and knowledge to workers, permitting workers to practice these learned skills, and management offering support for learning and feedback could enable informal learning workplace environments. Creating a learning culture in an organization can help to increase the amount of planned and unplanned informal learning taking place. Even though much research still needs to be done on the best methods to develop and support informal learning, some methods have been noticed and suggested. Planned informal workplace learning can take place through networking relationships with other employees or an expert in the area trying to contribute to a coworker's knowledge. Planned informal learning can also be created in ways such as collaboration and sharing resources with coworkers, job rotation, and coaching or mentoring. Unplanned or unintentional informal workplace learning environments are by far the most common. This type of learning is difficult to measure because, by its very nature, unplanned learning takes place usually while the person is performing daily tasks and learning from mistakes made, or when a worker is trying to learn from a new experience. Technology in the workplace. Continuing education opportunities where employees can willfully engage in the learning process can be a tremendous morale booster that leads to positive retention, increased productivity, and recruitment. Modern technology provides an impressive mix that is approachable and accessible due to the vast array of multiple learning platforms that are intuitive to multiple learning styles. Today's training programs now have creative platforms that incorporate artificial intelligence, interactive learning, and creative content. This leads to improved employee engagement and leads to positive feedback. Technology opens up a limitless path for leadership to keep their employees on the current industry trends and company initiatives. From both a learner and an organizational perspective, a learning system that offers support for an online course marketplace may give a massive advantage, as it can open the door to a wide learning repository beyond what may be available in-house. Technology learning programs, platforms, and enhancements provide new ways to enhance learning and make the education process more exciting as well as engaging. When it comes to the most popular workplace learning tools in the world, YouTube, Google, and PowerPoint boast strong usage in holding the top 3 spots. Learning experience platforms, LXPs, are similar to learning management systems, LMSs, but these staff training tools usually need to be used together. While an LMS is designed for a training manager, LXPs are designed for learners. Think Netflix, YouTube, or any other tech that supplies on-demand content. Naturally, there will be some growing pains in regard to the heavy use of technology. Some individuals may have a steep learning curve if technology is not a part of their everyday lives, but there is a technological tool to help these individuals as well called the virtual assistant. These tools can be a great way to assist those experiencing any difficulty or may need extra guidance in the process. In each platform, there are also learning tools and tutorials that assist individuals with becoming familiar with the programs to ensure that they get the most out of the experience. Mentoring. Although the description of mentorships can be traced back to ancient Greek history, most of the empirical research on mentorships have been conducted only within the past few decades. The current literature has explored mentorships in several directions, including the phases of mentorships, the role served by a mentor, and mentorship outcomes. There are 8 attributes associated with mentoring. Most observers agree that mentoring is a systematic or universal process, an active relationship, a helping endeavor, focused on teaching and learning, a practice that evokes reflection, rooted in career and personal development, formalized, and a role constructed by or for a mentor. Without a protege, there is no dyad, and thus there is no mentor. Leadership development is a continuous process. As mentors evolve as leaders, they are also preparing to move up on the corporate ladder themselves. These programs have proven to be a success in the workplace. They provide an opportunity for managers to develop leadership skills while making a difference in the workplace. Mentoring is differentiated into 2 specific categories, formal and informal. Formal mentoring programs are fostered and endorsed by organizations. Formal mentoring programs usually consist of matching senior employees with less skilled junior colleagues. On the contrary, informal mentoring relationships form casually without a schedule or agenda. They are less structured, spontaneous, self-directed, and not recognized by the organization. The main contention between these 2 forms of mentoring are the intensity, commitment, duration, structure, and relationship. Informal mentoring relationships are an approach that may foster more benefits than formal mentoring relationships. The fundamental distinction between formal and informal mentorships lies in the formation of the relationship. A mentoring relationship develops when a more experienced senior employee takes an active interest in and encourages a less experienced junior employee by providing support, direction, and feedback regarding career plans and personal development. Mentoring is perceived as beneficial for all involved. Just as important, mentoring has been positively related to greater promotion possibilities, job satisfaction, higher self-esteem, and a heightened sense of professional competence. Networking. When thinking about networking, the first thoughts that come to mind might be networking events or LinkedIn. Networking can also be for organizational use. Networking inside the office is less talked about, but just as important for sourcing great ideas and finding inspiration. So often, teams get siloed and forget that they have a network within the company that can help them complete their tasks more effectively and foster learning. For any professional hoping to expand their learning and influence, networking inside one's own company is crucial. Building a web of strong relationships up, down, and across the organization is invaluable for any projects and tasks that employees could hope to accomplish, especially inside large organizations. Not to mention all the opportunities to cross-train and find synergies. Networking can be a powerful way to learn about how one's position fits into the larger organizational picture, which could open up opportunities for learning or career advancement. An internal networking initiative will look different from one organization to another, depending on the goals, budget, tools, and needs. Regardless, the most important piece is making resources available to help employees connect. Any of these activities might be included in an internal networking effort. Social media, online meetups or group chats, mixers, work meetings, team building, lunch and learn events, or attending industry events as a team. Internal networks can significantly improve a company's performance by directly affecting how employees communicate. Employee networking increases employee motivation. Being connected with coworkers and having the ability to collaborate easily makes employees more motivated to achieve their goals and eliminate challenges. Having internal networks helps employees communicate more often, get to the answers faster, and collaborate more efficiently on solving problems and learning new things. It has been proven that companies with better employee connections have much higher rates of employee engagement. For these reasons and many more, networking is a valuable tactic in a holistic learning strategy. Project management. Historically, organizations and businesses have relied on formal corporate training and learning. Employees are more mobile than ever, with the average tenure in a position or organization continuing to fall. And at the same time, work is evolving so rapidly that even if a person stays in the same job, the expectations of that job may change. As businesses move faster, people have to develop in a series of small steps, not a single major realignment. The format of classroom-based training is still largely based on the working environments of 30-plus years ago. The millennial generation that are now making up an increasing part of the workforce and are at levels where they are looking for training to help them grow and develop in their careers have never learned that way and don't want to adapt to an outdated approach. Millennials and Gen Z typically prefer technology-enabled, modular learning approaches. Informal learning methods might give members of a project team real work examples and thus help them to apply newly acquired skills to the workplace. Focusing personal development in areas that are of interest to an individual but have no relevance to their current career will not help them grow and may cause tension with employers. In addition, training budgets have often gone unspent in organizations. But staff members who don't continue to climb the ramp of personal development in the future will find themselves struggling to succeed. Workplace learning planning must now be more frequent and more targeted, and it must also embrace more diverse training options. And informal learning emphasis sets the blueprint for a learning organization. Professional development. Professional development refers to any formal or informal learning experience or process that refines and enhances the professional knowledge, skills, and practices of teachers to improve student achievement and growth. The process of improving and increasing one's capabilities may be accessed through conference attendance, workshops, or informal learning opportunities. The use of guest speakers is essential in the workplace to foster learning beyond the office, to strengthen connections between work and self, and to encourage multidisciplinary collaboration. The evidence indicates that guest speakers can be invited by a variety of stakeholders with various motivations. Individuals from both discipline-related practical fields and academic institutions are frequently invited to many organizations. Guest speakers may have the ability to promote better workplace outcomes. Using guest speakers can fulfill at least 3 objectives. A guest speaker's presentation can bring further scholarship into the workplace. A guest speaker may open employees' minds to varying viewpoints. And guest speakers can alter employees' attitudes and perceptions. An engaged employee works with colleagues to improve performance. Thus, organizations must work to develop and nurture engagement. However, engagement is two-way. Organizations must work to engage the employee, who in turn has a choice about the level of engagement to offer back to the employer. This employee engagement model begins with autonomy. Employees need a certain degree of independence in order to be productive. The next element from this model is management. Employee engagement focuses on developing great managers by providing feedback to continuously improve. The next element is work culture. Employees like to know exactly what is expected of them and how to achieve it, and they want to know about company goals and values. Employees also look to growth opportunities as much as they do to compensation. And finally, trust in leadership. Effective leadership demonstrates the traits of employee engagement. Effective leadership also does the following to foster engagement: make employees aware of growth opportunities, support employees, and identify potential talent and link them with other talent based on skills and qualifications. Company communications. Communication is a vital management component to any organization, whether the purpose is to update employees on new policies, to ensure safety throughout the organization, or to listen to the attitudes of employees. Effective communication is an integral issue in effective management. Likewise, it plays a vital role in the learning and culture around learning in an organization. Most learning and HR professionals and organizational leaders agree that linking corporate communication to business strategy is essential to effective and consistent business operations. Of the many communication tools available to reach and inspire informal learners, storytelling is perhaps the most vital to any campaign. Storytelling creates a picture through words so that the message becomes memorable. Organizational leaders are beginning to understand how storytelling can be used as a powerful business tool to impart company culture, to create an employment brand, and to build trust and loyalty among employees. Another to note, the grapevine. One of the most used and undermanaged tools for employee communication is the grapevine. Water cooler discussions are still a mechanism for employees to hear the latest news unfiltered by management, and they continue to be a source for employees in learning the inside story. Employers and organizations should be mindful that whenever formal communication strategy is used, the grapevine still exists and will be tapped by employees at all levels. The grapevine should not be discounted when considering the best tool to listen to and learn about employee issues and informal learning. Successfully capturing employee attention is well served by embarking on a unified, coordinated approach to communications around learning and informal learning opportunities. By demonstrating immediate relevance to employees, a message can rise above in a way that engages employees, secures buy-in, and incites them to take action. Here are just a few ideas of how company communication tactics can evolve or enlist personalization to break through the noise and better reach and engage learners and employees. Workplace learning. There are many disciplinary backgrounds from which workplace learning has been approached, investigated, and theorized. This has generated a myriad of different lenses through which workplace learning and the various concepts embodied within it are viewed and understood. Simply put, though, workplace learning is a structured work experience program that provides an opportunity for students to get firsthand on-the-job experience or training. While workplace learning occurs in several different ways and settings, it is beneficial to all employees if they use it to their advantage. Investing in learning and self-development helps maintain relevance and with future career success. The different types of trainings that aid employees may include orientation, onboarding, technical skills development, soft skills development, products and service training, quality training, safety training, and team training. Undergoing training can also improve an employee's ability to move up in the organization. In addition, workplace learning and job satisfaction have a direct correlation in a number of studies. According to LinkedIn Learning, 94% of employees say that they would stay at a company longer if it invested in their career development. Discussion. Professional development is essential to remaining competitive in the workforce. In order to remain aligned with the organizational goals, leadership must ensure that ongoing training is part of their everyday environment. Harboring the right workplace learning tools leads to motivating and engaging the workforce while retaining valuable employees. According to Hart, in the early 21st century, we are now seeing a number of new forces that are fundamentally transforming the world of work. These forces are changing the nature of jobs yet again, which means a new reality for both organizations and for individuals. The implications for the world of work are immense. Individuals will need to constantly replace out-of-date knowledge with new knowledge in a continuous process of learning. And organizations will need to ensure they have individuals with the relevant skills to remain competitive in their market. Knowledge in the workplace, whether formal or informal, in the eyes of leadership and development benefits both the employees as well as employers, which is why workplace budgets have increased exponentially year after year. According to a 2019 PwC CEO survey, 79% of CEOs worldwide are concerned that a lack of essential skills in their workforce is threatening the future growth of their organization. This compares to just 63% in 2014, confirming that concern over skills has risen in line with the advent of new technologies over the past 5 years. Expanding skills in the workplace can be achieved through social or learning platforms, as well as enlisting guest speakers for seminars where they can share their expertise and knowledge. Seminars and conferences allow an avenue for collaborative activities such as role-playing. Constant learning environments within the workplace will automatically lead the way for unplanned learning, which creates a culture of education among leadership as well as employees. Regular self-improvement can be a collective morale boost in the workforce and is a huge benefit of workplace learning because individuals appear more confident in their positions and also seek more advancement. Because of the very nature of informal learning, it is difficult to measure and for adults to recognize. More research is needed to discover how informal learning can best be supported, as well as to examine the extent to which an organization's environment serves to enhance this type of learning. If an organization can find the right combinations to broaden and enhance informal learning in the workplace, their workers may become more knowledgeable, the organization's competitive advantage may expand, and their profits may grow. In closing, this presentation sought to generate a more profound understanding concerning the nature of barriers to workplace learning and performance by establishing a conceptual framework that explains and illuminates the architecture of the many obstacles that exist within the fabric of everyday organizational life. The results of this analysis provide not only clear guidance, but also an inspiration for additional research and practice concerning workplace learning. By elevating our capacity to identify barriers to workplace learning and performance, we improve our potential for attaining the increased knowledge and performance required to meet the challenges and opportunities of an increasingly complex and demanding world of work to help individuals and teams identify, understand, and transform barriers into favorable circumstances for improved learning and performance. From a bottom-line perspective, leaders and organizations that change their obstacles into opportunities for improved education and performance outperform those that do not. As continuous adult learning and informal workplace learning becomes the competitive advantage of the 21st century, interventions such as technology, mentoring, networking, Project management, professional development, communications, and promotions will take on an added importance. Thank you for viewing this presentation, and we hope you learned some valuable insights about workplace learning. References.